Han is one of the most unusual festivals in the world, held by the people on the island of Java, Indonesia, 7 times a year. During this time, thousands of tourists and pilgrims gather in a temple on the sacred mountain Gunung Kukus to perform a ritual involving sex. Participants must immerse themselves and bathe in spring water to cleanse their bodies. Greetings and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're embarking on a journey to uncover one of Indonesia's most intriguing and lesser-known traditions. We'll be delving into a captivating custom practiced by the Javanese people, a group known for their rich cultural heritage. Imagine a quaint village on the island of Java, where an age-old tradition known as Pon unfolds. This ritual involves the belief that engaging in intimate relations with a stranger can usher in good fortune and success for both participants. Picture this: a single night attracting up to 8,000 people, where the practice of being with the same individual 7 times over a span of 35 days is thought to bring blessings and prosperity. Though it might seem unusual or even hard to grasp, this tradition is deeply rooted in the spiritual and cultural fabric of the Javanese people, having been passed down through generations. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button if you find this topic intriguing, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to click subscribe so you don't miss out on more exciting content from us. Now, let's explore this unique tradition in depth, uncover its origins, significance, and impact on the lives of those involved. Indonesia's geographic and climate overview. Indonesia is like a precious gem of Southeast Asia, strategically located with diverse terrain, from high mountains to deep valleys and long coastlines, with a tropical and subtropical climate. The country usually has an average temperature of about 28 degrees Celsius all year round, the rainy season from October to April and the dry season from May to September. Bali, one of Indonesia's islands, has a cooler climate and often unique weather aspects despite seasonal changes. This warm climate is favorable for outdoor activities year-round, highlighting the beauty of the beaches and the country's cultural heritage. Have you ever been to Indonesia? If so, please tell us about your experience in the comments section below. Discovering Indonesia's natural beauty and biodiversity. Indonesia is the 14th largest country in the world, with over 17,000 islands and a rich geographical system. It is one of the world's highest biodiversity centers, home to many endemic plant and animal species, including rare ones like orangutans, Sumatran elephants, and Komodo dragons. Indonesia's natural landscapes are diverse and captivating, from beautiful beaches like those in Bali to high mountains like Mount Bromo and Mount Merapi to vast rainforests like those in Kalimantan. Indonesia has some of the most famous and beautiful natural landmarks, such as Gunung Leuser National Park and Komodo National Park. These elements together create Indonesia's unique natural diversity and beauty, attracting tourists and inspiring many artists and scientists. I once traveled to Vol and everything was great, but when I received an item from someone with my left hand, they changed their attitude. I still don't understand why. Does anyone know the reason? Please explain below. There are many majestic landscapes in Indonesia. Do you like this country? If you like it, please like this video. A cultural insight into Indonesian history and religion. Culture and history have played a very important role in the lives of Indonesian people. With the diverse mix of civilizations and religions like Hinduism, Buddhism, and Islam, Indonesia has formed a rich and multi-dimensional cultural picture. The country is not only a meeting point of different civilizations, but also a place where religious and artistic values from Asia intersect. Culture and history have significantly contributed to the development and shaping of Indonesian people's lives, from daily activities to major cultural symbols like architecture, music, and traditional festivals. Pon is one of the most unusual festivals in the world, held by the people on the island of Java, Indonesia, 7 times a year. During this time, thousands of tourists and pilgrims gather in a temple on the sacred mountain Gunung Kukus to perform a ritual involving sex. Participants must immerse themselves and bathe in spring water to cleanse their bodies. Then, each person finds a stranger to pair up with. The couple will engage in intercourse during the night of the ceremony. The partner must not be their spouse. To receive luck and blessings from the gods, they need to have sex with the same person 7 times in a row. Thus, they exchange phone numbers and addresses to complete the ritual over 35 days. Most participants are business owners or entrepreneurs. They believe that if they complete the ritual, their businesses will prosper and succeed. Because of this strange custom, Gunung Kukuz is also known as the Sex Hill, with the center being the Muslim temple on the mountain's peak. Here, men and women from various professions, regardless of marital status, can participate to seek luck and Journalist Patrick Abad of Spes Dateline, who witnessed the festival firsthand, was astonished that such a ritual exists in a Muslim country like Indonesia, where adultery is taboo. According to him, the Pon festival originated from a 16th century legend, where a young Indonesian prince had an affair with his stepmother. They fled to the mountain and were discovered and killed while having sex on the summit of Kimis. Since then, the people of Java believe that if they complete this act, wealth and luck will come to them. During the festival, people from all over Indonesia flock here to see if they can change their fortunes. However, they usually do not share much about the story, as it essentially involves adultery, extramarital sex, and goes against Islamic norms. You won't find this ritual anywhere else in Indonesia or the rest of the Muslim world. During peak times, the hill attracts up to 8,000 people a night. Abu shared that because the ritual lasts for 35 days, it has become a lucrative business, leading to the strong operation of karaoke bars and disguised motels. Profits have overshadowed religious values, he said. Nevertheless, for devout believers, they still hold their faith in the festival. However, one should be cautious of unforeseen dangers, as they can certainly occur. Moreover, this festival poses many health risks and sexually transmitted diseases. According to Professor Conjuro Soet Parno, a sociologist from Gajah Mada University in Yogyakarta, Indonesia, more than half of the women making the pilgrimage to Mount Kukuz are prostitutes. With its strategic location between the Indian and Pacific Oceans, Indonesia is home to over 300 different ethnic groups and languages, creating rich cultural diversity. This diversity is not only reflected in language and customs, but also in beliefs, art, and lifestyles. Indonesian culture is a delicate combination of indigenous elements and influences from other civilizations, especially India and China. Regarding language, Bahasa Indonesia has been chosen as the national language and is widely used in official communication, teaching, and media throughout the country. After gaining independence, this language has become not only a communication tool, but also a symbol of national unity and independence. With the diversity of hundreds of languages and dialects like Javanese, Sundanese, Banjarese Manado, and Batak, languages developed based on Indonesian reflect the cultural diversity and ethnic identity of each region. Before Islam was introduced to Indonesia in the 13th century, Hindu and Buddhist cultures had a strong presence from the 7th to the 14th centuries. Cultural relics like Borobudur and Prambanan on Java Island are examples of the remarkable development of Hindu-Buddhist architecture and art in Indonesian culture. These temples are not only religious buildings, but also symbols of prosperity and the deep cultural influence left by Hinduism and Buddhism. From the 13th century, Islam spread and became an important element in the country's cultural life, especially on the islands of Sumatra and Java. Indonesian culture underwent significant changes. Islamic architecture, such as the Istiqlal Mosque in the capital Jakarta, and Islamic arts like Sufi dancing have become indispensable parts of the country's contemporary culture. The blend of indigenous culture and Islam has created a rich and diverse cultural picture, reflecting the multidimensional and creative nature of the Indonesian people. Culture is not only an aspect of art and religion, but also the foundation of national unity and social development in Indonesia. Indonesian artisans and writers have preserved and developed traditional cultural values through art, music, and festivals. Each festival, like Independence Day on August 17th or the Balines Galungan Festival, is rich in cultural significance and holds deep meaning for the people. Cultural diversity is also reflected in architecture and traditional clothing. Architectural works, like the Borobudur Temple with its intricate design and sculptures, and the grandeur of Hindu temples symbolize the creativity and artistry of the Indonesian people. Gamelan music with its distinctive instruments and water puppet shows are performed across the country, marking the strong development of performing arts and traditional culture. Indonesian architecture and art reflect the diversity and development of culture. From grand architectural works like the Borobudur Buddha Temple in Java to water puppet shows and gamelan music, each heritage is an expression of the nation's cultural richness and creativity. The history of Indonesia also plays an important role in shaping and developing the contemporary society of the nation. Since gaining independence in 1945, Indonesia has experienced many political and economic ups and downs, but has maintained a strong cultural foundation. History has helped build human values, national pride, and the spread of values like peace, unity, and sustainable development. History is also an endless source of inspiration for Indonesia's contemporary culture. Artists and writers often draw inspiration from historical events and folklore to create reflective and profound works of art. Films, novels, and other forms of performance often use cultural and historical themes as a foundation to contribute to the development and enrichment of the nation's diverse and rich culture. Thus, culture and history are inseparable elements in the lives of Indonesian people. Culture is not only a cultural heritage, but also the foundation for national unity and social development. History is an endless source of inspiration for artistic creation and sustainable development. These factors together contribute to making Indonesia a diverse, harmonious, and culturally rich nation in the 21st century. Scene's role of women. People are considered a key factor in the wonderful beauty of Indonesia, especially the women of this country. The beauty of Indonesian women lies not only in their appearance, but also in the strength and depth of their culture. Indonesian women are not only symbols of physical beauty, but also embody many cultural, social, and spiritual characteristics unique to the country. This is reflected in many aspects. First, in fashion, Indonesian women are often admired for their vibrant and natural grace. They have bright and radiant skin, especially on islands like Bali and Java, where this beauty is considered a symbol of elegance and refinement. Traditional clothing like floral dresses and sarongs also highlight the delicate beauty of Indonesian women, reflecting pride in their culture and ethnicity. Secondly, Indonesian women play important roles in both family and society. They are often responsible for caring for their families and raising children. Additionally, they actively participate in social and cultural activities within their communities, from maintaining and developing religious rituals to preserving and promoting traditional culture. Next is the beauty of modernity. Indonesian women are not only proficient in family roles, but also hold significant positions in various professional fields. They're involved in many areas such as education, healthcare, business, and the arts, contributing positively to the nation's economic and social development. The dynamism and creativity of Indonesian women have helped create a diverse and prosperous economy. Lastly, there is the beauty of resilience and creativity when facing life's challenges. They show flexibility and determination in overcoming difficulties and building better lives for their families and communities. This demonstrates the special strength and optimism of Indonesian women. In conclusion, Indonesian women are not only symbols of physical beauty, but are also profound and multidimensional individuals who contribute significantly to the country's development and prosperity. With their elegance and resilience, they embody sustainable development and social harmony within Indonesia's rich culture. Top destinations and economic impact. Indonesia is an amazing destination for those who love diverse and majestic natural beauty. With over 17,000 islands, it boasts unique and rich natural landscapes, from active volcanoes to tropical rainforests, pristine beaches, and some famous destinations include Bali, known for its beautiful beaches like Canggu and Nusa Dua. Bali also has Hindu temples such as Tanalat and Uluwatu, along with traditional villages in the artistic valley of Ubud. Lombok, famous for the majestic Mount Rinjani and its 2 hot springs, also attracts tourists to beaches like Senggigi and islands like Gili Trawangan. Java, the largest island in Indonesia, is home to the bustling capital Jakarta. Java features destinations like the Borobudur and Prambanan temples in Yogyakarta, Mount Bromo, and the Ujung Kulon World Heritage Site. Komodo is known for the islands of Komodo and Ringsa, home to the giant Komodo dragons. This is an attractive spot for tourists who love exploration and adventure. Raja Ampat, one of the best destinations for diving, with thousands of small islands and beautiful coral reefs, is a paradise for activities like diving, snorkeling, and relaxing on the beach. Indonesia's natural beauty not only attracts locals, but also millions of international tourists each. Tourism has significantly contributed to the national economy, providing jobs and income for local people while also enhancing the capacity of tourism infrastructure and other supporting services. The development of tourism also encourages environmental and cultural conservation, protecting Indonesia's valuable natural resources for future generations. According to Kim Paragraph, domestic tourists in Indonesia in the first 6 months of 2023 reached 43.357 million trips, an increase of 1257 compared to 2022. Meanwhile, international tourist arrivals up to July 2023 reached 631 million, an increase of 196.85 compared to 2022. Experts believe that with its cultural, scenic, and historical advantages, the number of visitors to Indonesia will continue to rise. With the optimistic outlook of experts in restoring the tourism industry and the creative economy, Indonesia hopes to achieve the target of welcoming 8.5 million foreign tourists, 1.4 billion domestic trips, and creating 4.4 million jobs by 2024. Practical tips for living in Indonesia: transportation, safety, and health. What should you consider if you decide to live in Indonesia? The first thing to pay attention to is the diverse transportation, reflecting the diversity of the country. In major cities like Jakarta and Surabaya, you have many public transportation options, such as buses, taxis, and rapidly growing ride-hailing services like Grab and Gojek. However, due to frequent traffic congestion, many locals and foreigners prefer motorcycles for easier navigation on crowded roads. Bali also has a unique traffic landscape. This famous tourist island is much less congested than Jakarta, but motorcycles are still popular for their flexibility and convenience. Traditional taxi services and ride-hailing apps like Grab and Gojek are also available, offering convenient options for those who want to travel comfortably on all roads. For inter-island travel, domestic flights, high-speed boats, and ferries are the main modes of transportation. While the country's transportation infrastructure is continuously improving, congestion remains a significant challenge, especially in urban areas. Understanding the local transportation system and planning travel strategically can greatly affect your experience living and traveling in Indonesia. One of the most common concerns before deciding to move to a country is safety. Safety in Indonesia, like any other country, varies and depends on factors like location and personal behavior. Generally, most areas in Indonesia are safe for living and traveling, but it's important to be aware of your surroundings. Small crimes like pickpocketing and theft can occur, especially in crowded areas. Traffic safety is also a concern, as motorcycles are very common and traffic can sometimes be chaotic, so following local road rules is very important. Additionally, Indonesia is located in the Pacific Ring of Fire, so natural disasters like earthquakes and volcanic eruptions can occur frequently. In Bali, safety issues reflect those of Indonesia in general, with some specific characteristics. Tourist areas may have a higher risk of small crimes, so vigilance is advised to ensure safety. We recommend staying updated with information from local news sources and taking necessary precautions, similar to what you would do when visiting any other country. Healthcare services in Indonesia vary greatly between urban and rural areas. Major cities like Jakarta and Bali have many modern private hospitals and clinics equipped with advanced facilities and staffed by English-speaking medical. These facilities generally meet Western healthcare standards. In Bali, places like Denpasar and Kang are home to top hospitals and clinics with modern facilities and multilingual staff, offering a range of services from regular checkups to emergency care. However, in more remote areas of Bali, such as the north and east, access to quality healthcare can be limited or non-existent. Over the years, the Indonesian government has been working to improve the healthcare system and access to medical services nationwide, but progress can be slow, especially in remote regions. Given the disparities in healthcare quality, it is crucial for foreigners and long-term visitors to have comprehensive health insurance. This insurance should cover a wide range of medical services, from routine checkups to emergency and evacuation services. Housing, living in Indonesia, housing, food, and education. The cost of living in Indonesia offers a range of options suitable for various lifestyles and budgets. Despite growing modernization and the increasing presence of foreigners, Indonesia remains quite affordable. However, living costs can vary significantly between regions. Major cities like Jakarta and Bali, especially urban areas, can be comparable to Western cities, particularly for those seeking luxury accommodations or Western amenities. In Bali, the cost of living is diverse, reflecting the island's blend of luxury and simplicity. Bali is a popular destination for both high-end tourists and budget travelers. High-end areas like Seminyak and Nusa Dua feature luxurious villas and upscale restaurants with prices similar to Western cities. Conversely, areas like Ubud and Kang, though still popular, generally have lower living costs, particularly for long-term residents. Local markets offer fresh produce at low prices, but imported goods can be expensive. To save on living costs in Bali, it is important to utilize local resources and understand the island's varied cost landscape. Hiring a knowledgeable real estate agent can help navigate Indonesia's diverse real estate market and find a home that suits your lifestyle and budget. Living in Indonesia offers a range of costs that cater to various lifestyles and budgets. Renting an apartment in central Jakarta typically starts around 5 million IDR 350 US per month, with prices increasing for more luxurious. In contrast, Bali offers more affordable rental rates, starting at approximately 3 million IDR 200 USD per month, though costs can vary based on location and amenities. When it comes to food, dining out in Indonesia is quite economical. A meal at a mid-range restaurant in the city can begin at around 50,000 IDO 3.5 USD, making it easy to enjoy local cuisine without breaking the bank. For everyday groceries, including fresh vegetables and fruits, an average household might spend about 500,000 IDA 35 USD. Healthcare expenses are also manageable, with specialist doctor visits at private hospitals typically costing around 500,000 IDR 35 used or more, depending on the hospital and type of service needed. Transportation is reasonably priced as well, with taxi rides or ride-hailing services like Grab and Gojek in Jakarta and Bali costing approximately 15,000 20,000 IDRU 1.5 USD per kilometer. Educational costs vary, but attending national universities might require an investment of about 10 million IDRI 700 USD per year depending on the course of study. Overall, the average monthly cost of living in Indonesia can start from around 9 million IDR 630 USD and increase based on housing choices, personal consumption habits, and the level of amenities desired. This diverse cost structure makes Indonesia an attractive option for many, offering both affordability and quality of life. Navigating long-term visas and residency options in Indonesia. Obtaining a long-term visa to live in Indonesia can be complex, but it is possible. Tourists can stay in the country for up to 60 days but must leave to reapply for a visa. Another good option is a business or social visa, valid for 6 months. Although expensive, it allows a longer stay and can be extended for another 6 months, enabling a year-long stay. However, during this time, you cannot leave the country. If you do, the visa will reset and you will need to reapply. Considering the initial investment and renewal costs, this option costs around 100 USD per month. Another option is to apply for an investment visa, which you can get by opening a local company. This visa costs about 1,000 USD for 2 years, making it the cheapest option to stay in Indonesia. Additionally, it allows you to travel in and out of Indonesia without affecting your visa and even work, albeit with some restrictions. For more information on visa options in Indonesia, you can visit the official visa website. However, for applying for social, business, or work visas, I recommend using a visa agent to make the process much easier. There are many visa agents to choose from, and I advise you to select carefully, read reviews, and seek opinions from others about their recent experiences. Sound and duration. When deciding to live in Indonesia, there are several dangers and challenges you should be aware of to ensure your safety and well-being. First and foremost, petty crimes such as pickpocketing and theft can be a concern, especially in crowded areas like markets. To minimize risk, always keep your personal belongings like wallets and mobile phones close and secure them in a safe bag. In busy areas, staying vigilant and avoiding displaying valuable items can help you avoid unwanted situations. Traffic in Indonesia, especially in large cities like Jakarta and Surabaya, can be intense and chaotic. Traffic jams are common, making travel difficult. Therefore, adhering to traffic laws is crucial. If you use a personal vehicle, drive cautiously and avoid traveling during peak hours. Many residents and tourists opt for ride-hailing services like Grab or Gojek, which not only help you avoid traffic congestion, but also offer a higher level of convenience and safety. Regarding natural hazards, Indonesia is located in the Pacific Ring of Fire, where seismic and volcanic activity is frequent. This means you might encounter earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. To stay safe, regularly update yourself with information from local authorities about weather conditions and disaster risks. Familiarize yourself with emergency response measures and know the nearest safe gathering points near your residence. Health concerns also need attention. To prevent infectious diseases, ensure you are fully vaccinated before arriving in Indonesia. Clean water may not always be readily available, so drink bottled water and avoid consuming undercooked food. Diseases such as malaria and dengue fever can occur in some areas, so using mosquito repellent and maintaining good hygiene practices is crucial. Personal security is another factor you cannot overlook. Always carry personal identification and residency permits to avoid legal troubles. Avoid engaging in conflicts with locals or situations that might compromise your safety. If you are involved in business activities, make sure to thoroughly vet your partners and review contract terms to avoid risks such as fraud or legal disputes. Finally, living in a new country can create stress and feelings of isolation. To manage stress, engage in recreational activities, connect with the local community, and maintain regular contact with family and friends back home. Participating in social events and seeking support from the expatriate community in Indonesia can help you feel less isolated and integrate more smoothly into your new life. By paying attention to these factors and managing them appropriately, you can enjoy a safer and more comfortable life in Indonesia. As we dive into the intriguing topic of Indonesia and the cultural dynamics surrounding relationships and social interactions, it's crucial to approach the subject with sensitivity and an open mind. Indonesia, with its rich tapestry of traditions and cultural nuances, offers a diverse range of experiences, but understanding local customs and behaviors is, while the notion of casual encounters might spark curiosity, it's essential to recognize and respect the broader cultural context and values of this beautiful country. Engaging with and learning about different cultures can be a deeply enriching experience, but always ensure that your actions align with local norms and personal ethics. If you found this exploration into Indonesian social dynamics fascinating, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Share it with friends who might be interested in understanding more about cultural differences. And make sure to subscribe to our channel for more engaging content on travel, culture, and social insights. Your support helps us continue to bring you intriguing and thought-provoking videos from around the world. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for our next adventure.